I'm Constance, and we are here talking to Jena Savage. She is the daughter of Ward Keller, who founded Remuda Ranch. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your side of the story. Your dad has shared about his side of the story, which is that he started Remuda because his daughter, who was 10 at the time, was struggling with an eating disorder. So what was going on with you when you were 10?
Well, my world was kind of out of control. I had gone through some major life situations. My parents had adopted my brother, David, who was 4 years older than me. And so I went from being the youngest child to being, as far as placement in the family, kind of the middle child, but still youngest in age. And so a lot of things happened in our family. There was a lot of focus on my brother, and our dynamics changed a lot. And so my world kind of felt out of control. And then kind of in addition to that, one of my really good friends in 4th grade was killed in a car accident. And so that again felt out of control. And I think I was at the time grasping for things that I could control. At the same time, my sister, who was in junior high, came home from a health class with some information that she had learned on anorexia and bulimia, which I had never heard of in my life. But I think I subconsciously began to kind of act out some of those behaviors that she had come home with talking about. And it met my need for control. I all of a sudden had something that I could control in my world that was out of control. And then it began a spiral. Then I couldn't stop. I couldn't get out of it. And it continued. And my parents were extremely worried about me. They didn't know what was happening, what was going on with me. Eating disorders 20 years ago, you know, there was not near as much awareness as there is today. There was, you know, especially for a 10-year-old girl who, you know, just was unheard of. And so went to a lot of doctors, a lot of different professionals to try to figure out what was going on with me. Finally, a doctor said, you know, I think your daughter has anorexia. That recognition was the beginning then of the recovery process to being...
Now, before all of that, before the doctor said, I think you have anorexia, did you know what was going on and you just weren't telling your parents? I just don't want to eat.
Yeah,
right
I think I did in the back of my mind know, you know, I'm choosing not to eat, but, you know, your mind gets caught up in that eating disorder mindset. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I didn't tell them for reasons I'm not quite sure of, but I
it was
believe
kind
I
of
did
something
know.
that, like you said, you could control.
Right,
Now,
exactly.
I want to go back to something more something you didn't say. I didn't hear in any of your descriptions about what led up to this anything about I felt fat or I felt ugly. So this was not a body image issue for you?
It was not a body image issue at all. I think especially for the young children who are suffering with eating disorders, the body image issues just are not there as much as it is for adolescents or adult women. It was not about that at all. I don't even think I was aware of my body at that point in my life. And so there was just certainly not an issue.
So take us from I think she has anorexia. Then what happened? And how did you feel when you were finally diagnosed?
Well, it was kind of a relief because finally they knew. I didn't have to hold that all by myself anymore. But then it was a little bit scary because then they wanted to get into counseling and you know those types of things, and I didn't want to go there. I just wanted to just start eating again and nobody notice, and I'll be okay. You know, my pride didn't want anybody to pick up on that. And you know, in this process, my parents had decided to move from our Scottsdale home to a ranch in Wickenburg, Arizona, and we moved there. And I began. I guess I should go back to when I was in my eating disorder. I felt lifeless. I felt that I couldn't. There was no hope. There was no purpose for me. I didn't really desire to live. Not that I wanted to kill myself or anything like that, but I didn't have that desire to wake up the next morning or to live. And so I just remember being very sad, just depressed and sad. And when we moved to Wickenburg, to the ranch, I began to be outside. I began to ride horses. Not that horses are the fix-all, they're not, but I began to experience that life and I began, a little kind of spark ignited in me. And I remember going, you know, I'm kind of tired of being sick.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sick anymore. I'm tired of feeling this nauseous feeling every day and missing school and doing all these things. I want to be better. I want to live life. And so that spark kind of stirred in me. But then again, my pride was holding me back from saying, you know, okay, let's just eat and fix this. So I remember one night my dad came in and kind of was getting me, you know, tucked into bed, and he was talking to me and telling me that, you know, he needed me and he loved me. And I remember saying, okay, I want to start eating, but I don't want anybody to notice. So if I start eating tomorrow, can you guys just, you know, not notice? And so, you know, amazingly that the next morning, I remember at least, you know, waking up and, okay, I'm going to eat. And I began eating. And the nice thing is, for a child, it can be a very black and white issue. I think it can, you know, you don't have the years and years of disordered eating, you know, preceding it. It can often be a quicker fix than somebody who's struggled for a long time. So by God's grace, you know, within a very short amount of time, I was back to a healthy weight and back to eating normal and being a child and enjoying life. And,
you know what I love about the story is we often hear in recovery work the line, God doesn't waste our pain. And I just think about the fact that you were going through pain, your family was going through pain with you during this, and yet now today you work at a treatment center that helps hundreds, thousands of women and girls who struggle with eating disorders. And so it all comes full circle, and God didn't waste your pain. And so we're just so excited about what you guys are doing, and I know you're branching out into Virginia and some hopefully other places after that. So if you'd like to find out more about Remuda Ranch, please click on the link and check out what their experts have to say about eating disorders. We've got a lot of them on the site. And we just believe a lot in what you guys are doing, and thanks for partnering with us to help tackle this issue.
thank you, Constance.